Just in case.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Jennifer Jago DeVries. I'm the Executive Director here at the Crossing Arts Alliance, and we're here with Desi Murphy. We're thrilled to have her here tonight. We've known Desi for a few years now as a potter, and Desi's in the process of busting out of that box and going back to some roots and finding her painting self again. And so, is this your first exhibition of pots and painting at the same time? We're very excited to host her and this new set of work. So thank you for being here with us, Desi.
Thank you.
We'll open it up to questions and let you sort of dive in, tell us a little bit about your artist story.
Absolutely. Well, I prepared a little talk, so I will start that now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a good turnout for this reception. So this exhibition at the Edge of Now is more than just a return of painting for me. It's a return to translating the world the way that I see it and the way that I experience it. So I've spent the last 27 years as a ceramic artist, and I dedicated most of that time to mastering the art of clay. But recently I felt called back to painting, a discipline that I hadn't practiced despite my formal education and years of training. When I began painting again, I remembered that I see things differently than most people. Always translating the world through shapes and patterns. As a child, I'd lose myself in the patterns of wallpaper, watching them fracture into distinct shapes that would leap forward, twist, and dance. In fact, I once told my mom that the wallpaper was breakdancing, which is clearly a child of the 80s, right? Now, as an adult, the same thing happens. A building no longer exists as a whole. It splinters into the patterns of the bricks, the shapes of the windows, the doorways, the awnings, each defined by the shifting light and the shadows it leaves behind. So my paintings don't replicate what's there. They reveal what I see and how it feels to see it. This work is about perception itself, how each of us views the world through our unique lenses. I'm drawn to the in-between places, not only where the shapes touch, but where reality brushes against perception. This is where the title lives, in a liminal space where edges blur and reality quietly transforms. At the Edge of Now is neither the start of painting nor the end of clay. It's the seamless union of both worlds, a point of presence. Thank you. Did you have any questions for me?
Yes.
Yeah. I see some of the color palette in the ceramic pieces here being applied to the paintings. Is that a directionality? Do they come from, does the palette kind of come from the pots?
Exactly. The palette comes from the pots. As you know, being a ceramic artist, it's a little bit trickier to go the other way and to create glaze that looks a specific way because of the ever-changing environment of the kiln, and it's it's challenging to create a glaze exactly the way that you want it every single time. So what I did is I actually took a pot that had my glazes on it, and I matched the colors to the pot. And the terracotta color is the color of the clay when it's fired to a cone 10 temperature, or a really hot temperature.
And is that why you chose to keep that same color palette throughout?
Yeah, just for that cohesion, that so it all works together as a whole.
You talked about these paintings being your perception of reality of buildings, and do you have specific landscapes for these? Are there any specific places that you could point to a painting and say, I remember where I saw that?
A couple of them were, let me see if I can. This one here was actually Gooseberry Falls. It's not named that way. It's named Still Waters, but
Okay.
Gooseberry Falls, down by like the bottom of it.
So before you started this body of work, when was the last time you painted?
I want to say 20 years.
And was it always in the back of your mind that you wanted to get back to it, or can you talk about like, sort of like, no, I'm gonna, because a ceramic studio isn't the best place to be painting.
Yeah, no. So the way that my studio is set up, I have my dirty, dusty ceramic studio, and then my basement downstairs in my studio is where I paint, and that's also where my kiln is. So it gets it nice and hot and dries that paint nice and fast. But as far as how I got back into it, I just was having ideas of what I wanted to do, and it wasn't translating well on pottery. And so I thought, I want to paint. And for about 3 years, I took actual slabs of clay that I glazed and I adhered them to wood in order to create like a two-dimensional piece of fine art on the wall that also used clay. But then my ideas started to get a little bit bigger than what I could do with clay. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this. But my business name for my studio, Desi Murphy Pottery, was kind of a block for me. It said pottery, I can't paint. But it took me a couple of years of that block to realize, why the heck am I allowing my sign to dictate what I do or don't do? So I thought, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna start painting.
Change your sign.
Yeah, right.
One of the things I noticed is looking at these pieces from a distance, you don't necessarily see all the texture that there is close up. We talked a little bit earlier that all of that is the result of built up paint. How many layers, would you say that all of these have 10 layers of paint, 12 layers of paint?
Oh, I don't know. It probably depends on the piece.
Okay.
When we were talking, I had mentioned that a couple of them used to be a completely different color.
Yes.
And so, yeah, there's those ones obviously probably have more paint than the others, but I would say they have approximately 4 to 8 layers, depending on the piece.
Is there a particular place that you start? Do you start with a green base or a white base and work up from there?
It depends on the piece again, but yeah, I won't start with the black.
Okay, good choice.
But yeah, it kind of differs with the piece. But yeah, I definitely start with a couple of layers of gesso, and then add usually the lightest color first. So like the white and the turquoise.
Are you starting with sketches, or are you going straight for the canvas?
Both. the ideas in my head, my newer pieces that I'm going to be working on are very sketch based.
Are your newer pieces, will they be an extension of this collection, or are you thinking something completely different?
They'll be similar,
Okay.
similar to this, but more layering,
Okay.
different shapes.
So some of yours are very straight edged, and some of them are not. Some are more organic. Why did you choose one over the other? Or?
You know, my pottery is also like that. And I don't know if I can really answer that question. There are certain moments when I feel like making things a bit more organic. And then certain times when I feel like I need to be very, very geometric.
Any other questions? I like the organic ones a lot. I will tell you how my husband distinguished between the more geometric and the organic ones. Not insulting in any way, but it was
It's just not as articulate.
not as articulate.
What does your husband do, or what did he do for a living?
I said I'd like for the stylized one better than the messy ones.
Yeah, and I've noticed that people that have more of a structured career tend to lean more so like the architects, engineers, economics teachers tend to lean more towards the ones that you know.
No, I like the messy ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I like them all, but those would be my preference. If I was going to buy one, I would buy a messy one.
More articulate.
I love the balance of both.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Desi. Your written piece was beautiful and explains a lot about your thought process here. So we
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
being here and sharing with us.